Welcome back to the Lyons build. A few things since the last video. We do have the steel trusses up for the porches, the back at the front, and the windows in, and the chimney is just now getting started. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Another full family day or weekend here. Got everybody out. Mom and Rachel, they're cutting the purlins for me, and I'm up there installing it. Jack's giving me pointers down below, it looks like. But yeah, just a lot of cutting, installing, all on the back porch here and the front porch as well. The purlins here install just like the roof did, where the purlins sit on those metal tabs and we just screw them in. And they span about 12 feet, I believe, in between them. They're 2x8, so enough support there to handle that porch. Those steel columns, or those steel trusses, can hold the weight of the roof and stuff like that. It's engineered to do that. However, we're going to install columns and beams to kind of support that as well, to give it a little decorative view, as well as just give it a little support. All right, another great day out here at the property. Got a lot of work done today. Got pretty much all the front porch purlins in. That center bay above, or where the main door is, that's where our gable porch roof is going to go. So I just got one purlin there just to kind of keep the spacing properly. But then I got to build out all that framing for that. Got to put the posts up, the beams all the way across still. The steel porch from Worldwide Steel, it could basically support itself, but we're going to throw in some columns and some beams to make sure that it's still good. Plus it'll tie into that gable section there, because there'll be some beam work. It'll look good. Got to start planning that out. Well, I already planned it. Got to start actually doing it. Back porch, going to try and finish that up tomorrow, and then get some sheathing on the sections that are pretty much already ready for it. This roof here with the main house, when it rains, it comes down, hits that, comes down, hits that, and then goes into the garage. So we want to get that covered so that it just flows off into the dirt for now. And then once we get the actual metal roof on and the gutters, it'll take care of all that issue. But yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes. Here I am starting to sheathe out the porch roof there. I've got the strap attached to the telehandler to kind of pull that into square. It was slightly out of square, so I just hooked that up and pulled it over a little bit until it was square. And then I'm going to basically attach a few sheets there to hold it into place, and then I'll release it. But yeah, just a lot of the same stuff as up on the roof, sizing, cutting, and then installing. The porch purlins there, they're not, they didn't really fall exactly on 2-foot centers, at least from the wall there. So I had to cut a couple of small pieces and then start the every 2-foot on center. So it was a little bit of measuring and cutting at the start until I got that pattern down. And once I got that pattern down, it was pretty quick. So another great day, great weekend here at the property. Ending today a little early, spend time with the family, but we made a lot of progress. We got the front porch, steel, purlins, subfascia, and the sheathing on some of the section. I left this middle part open because I still got to build out the actual gable part of this porch here, but we got to get columns and beams and stuff to do that. So once those get in, I will button up that side, and then got a little bit of the porch, or all the back porch has got the purlins and stuff on. I still need to add the subfascia and then a few extra things before I start putting the sheathing on that one, but it also has a gable end on that back side as well. And then we still got to do the chimney, and then the house will be kind of buttoned up on the outside until we start working on the roof and the siding and stuff. But we'll switch over probably to some interior framing and stuff, which is exciting. But yeah, we'll see how this next week goes. All right, so another great day out here at the property. I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I've actually made an update through the phone. We got a lot done. It was basically just nonstop. Didn't really have time to record much. And by the time the days were over, it was too dark. But we've got chimney finished. The whole house has been fully sheathed, taped, done. The outside porches are done except for the gable sections, and sheathed and taped. Roofs are all done and sheathed and taped. Yeah, so the house is pretty much sealed up. We put this Fintrum tape at the bottom around the bases where the concrete meets the sheathing to seal in, air, water, another air and water barrier outside of the sill plates that have been caulked and like a little foam stuff put underneath them. So basically a lot of extra precautions there. It looks like it's open here because it still is. I still need to put in the soffits and stuff, but that will be once we get the telehandler back. We sent it off because we didn't need it for a little bit to save us some money. So next we're going to start working on the interior. Got a lot to do. Already started putting in the little joist hangers there, little metal piece. Got floor joists there already to kind of get the spacing between the joist hangers there. A lot of them that we need to cut and put in. So the first bay is going to take a little bit of time just for measuring and make sure it's perfect. Plus I got to cut posts and install the posts. So a little bit of work, but once that's done, we can start throwing the joists up and then get that stack of subfloor there put up. So looking forward to it, and we'll see how tomorrow goes. Took a break here from the outside work. The garage doors, we're gonna arrive fairly soon to this video here, this section here. So I had to go ahead and install the ceiling purlins there, the 2x4s, just so that the garage door tracks could attach to those. So we went ahead and just installed those in the sections that the garage doors were going to run, and then we went back eventually and installed the rest of them once the stacks of sheathing and stuff was out of the way. I think we actually still have a bay that needs to be done, but there are some stacks of that zip sheathing still on the way, so once those are out of the way we'll finish it up. But yeah, so just taking those zip sheets down from the garage section or garage door section so that the garage door installers can come and install the doors. Starting the garage door installs here, the installer showed up with the packages for all the doors. We have a 10 by 16 foot door for our RV bay there, and then 3 10 foot by 10 foot doors. The doors themselves are this CHI overhead doors. I believe it's the 3295. It's like an all glass panel, aluminum framing, so it'll let in a lot of direct sunlight to kind of light that huge garage up. So yeah, we were excited about getting those in. Unfortunately, it took forever for those to be installed. A lot of hiccups from the company that we bought the garage doors from, not having the right parts and stuff like that. Not a lot of fault on the installers themselves. We think that they did a good job. Probably could have straightened out the tracks a little bit better. We'll probably have to go back and just straighten them up so that they line up exactly where we wanted them to. But I mean, the doors were huge and heavy, so yeah, it took them a long time to install it. I think Rachel actually mentioned here to them about where the tracks were supposed to go, and the angles being a little bit better, because it looked at first the tracks themselves were a little bit lower of an angle, so she just had him kind of put it to where it was the same spacing all around. So next I started planing out the posts that were going to go underneath the columns and stuff to support the second floor. I just wanted them to be exactly 5.5 so that they would fit through the wall, fit inside the walls properly. So I basically went through and just started planing over and over and over and over. It took a long time, but yeah, just planing for the posts here. And here I am installing those posts. There's a lot of micro adjustments at the bottom and the top just to get them all lined up exactly where they needed to be and be nice and plumb. Same thing here. Those first two went in pretty easily. They lined up with the holes in the actual hangers there. But this one, I think I needed to trim it up a little bit. And then the holes weren't drilled in the exact right spot that I had marked out on the plans for the engineers. So all I did was basically just drill the holes myself. Didn't take too long. And right here, I'm just basically checking everything with the laser level to make sure everything's all lined up before I drilled those holes. I was just verifying that my wall was exactly where I needed it to be before I kind of committed the hole placements. And then there I am just drilling them out, and then I'll install it and make sure that one's all nice and plumb and stuff as well. Here, Rachel and I are installing the ceiling purlins. They're just 2x4s, but we had to install all those for all the bays. It took a while, but that's just to get those installed before we put down the second floor, as we wouldn't be able to get that scissor lift underneath once the second floor was down. But yeah, we had to put a lot in the house and in the garage. multiple videos of basically us installing the second floor joists. They're just the 2x10s. We had to notch out every single one of them at the top just so they would slide into the metal joist hangers there. But yeah, each bay took quite a few. The master bedroom section, we changed the direction on those joists just so the HVAC ducting could run along those and get air into the master bedroom and a couple other places. When we were designing it out, we didn't quite think about the HVAC, so we had to adjust some things on the fly. But luckily we had time to adjust and figure out, just to lower a couple sections here or there, change some joists around. That way we were able to handle the HVAC once it is installed. But yeah, just a lot of work going back and forth, putting in the joists, and getting ready to lay down that second floor. Yeah, so here we are starting to lay down the subfloor for the second floor. This was fun. It just took forever. It was a lot of, throwing down glue on each joist, placing the panel in place, and then screwing it down a lot. So yeah, it took quite a bit of time, but with Rachel and I out there working on it, we were able to knock it out, I think it was like a month or two, maybe sooner. I can't remember. This was a while ago, but yeah, so glue down on each joist, throw it down, and screw it in. It was a tongue and groove system that got the right spacing in the horizontal, but the ends needed to have like a 1/8 inch gap, so we just kind of put down a couple of nails and then butted it up against those nails, and then once we were done, we pulled out the nails. But it's been a while since we've installed it. Haven't had any squeaks or any issues, so yeah, we think it's pretty solid. We can't wait to install the walls here soon, hopefully. But yeah, so here's just us going through and installing the second floor. once the second floor was mostly done, we got a few things to tie up still, just the ends of it, but it's pretty much done. Going through here and marking out all the wall placements, making sure everything's lines up with the columns there, making sure those are hidden in the wall as designed, and yeah, all turned out good. So once we start working on the interior, we'll already have the wall placements where we want them, and we just start throwing things up. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. Appreciate everybody's time, watching it as we build our house. And hopefully we'll have another one out shortly.